It's 11 at night. The paper is due tomorrow. The paper has been due tomorrow for 3 weeks now, which means for 3 weeks, tomorrow has been a magical land where motivated versions of yourself live. Tomorrow you wakes up early. Tomorrow you is focused. Tomorrow you doesn't even know what TikTok is. But today you is sitting at a desk, staring at a blank page like it's a portal to another dimension. Not because you're lazy, but because between you and that blank page stands an invisible wall. And the longer you've waited, the taller the wall has grown. This is procrastination. And once you see the wall, you'll understand why your brain keeps choosing literally anything else. Let's find out what's happening. Procrastination looks like laziness. But watch what's actually happening. Someone needs to write a paper. Instead, they become a professional phone scroller. PhD level. Olympic gold. Someone needs to start a project. Suddenly, their room has never been cleaner. The grout between the bathroom tiles? Sparkling. They've reorganized their bookshelf by color and by size. Someone waits until 2 a.m., then does the entire thing in a caffeine-fueled panic, hating every second, promising themselves they'll never do this again. Narrator voice. They will absolutely do this again. Why? Why would someone who cares about something spend 3 weeks cleaning grout instead of doing the thing they actually care about? Because between them and the task stands a wall made of feelings. And here's the thing about feelings. They don't care about your deadlines. Once you see the wall, you'll understand why just do it earlier is like telling someone to just be taller. And if you want to understand why your brain does this, subscribe to The Sane Explains, because this wall appears in more places than you think. Imagine there's a task you need to do. It's over there, glowing, waiting, probably judging you a little bit. Between you and the task is a wall. The wall is invisible to everyone else. Your friend says, just sit down and do it. You want to explain? There's a wall. They look at you like you're insane. But the wall is real. It's just not made of bricks. It's made of feeling. Look closer at the wall. Each brick is a different flavor of psychological discomfort. Fear brick. What if I'm bad at this? Shame brick. I should have started 3 weeks ago like a functional adult. Doubt brick. What if I do all this work and it's still not good enough? Overwhelm brick. There are 47 steps and I can see all of them and I want to lie down. Perfectionism brick. If I can't do it perfectly, I'd rather do literally nothing and preserve the illusion that I could do it perfectly if I tried. Anxiety brick. Just thinking about this makes my chest tight and my brain goes static. Why? The wall isn't the task being difficult. The wall is how the task makes you feel before you even start. Your brain looks at this wall and goes, absolutely not. I choose cleaning the grout. So what does your brain do? It looks at the wall, cold, gray, full of uncomfortable feelings. Then it looks around, and it notices everything else feels amazing by comparison. The phone doesn't have a wall. The phone has dopamine and funny videos and the infinite scroll of not feeling bad. The snack doesn't have a wall. The snack has immediate pleasure and zero judgment. Cleaning your room technically has a wall, but it's a tiny wall. A wall you can step over. A beginner wall. So you do those things instead. Not because you're lazy, but because your brain is an escape artist and it just found 17 exits. This is procrastination. Emotional avoidance dressed up as productivity. You're not doing nothing. You're doing everything except the thing with the wall. Subscribe to The Sane Explains if you've ever cleaned your entire house to avoid a 10-minute task. But here's the part that makes procrastination feel like a curse. Every time you walk away from the wall, it grows. Day 1. The wall is uncomfortable but climbable. You could do this. You choose not to, but you could. Day 7. The wall is taller now. Why? Because new bricks arrived. Shame brick 2.0. You've been avoiding this for a week. What is wrong with you? Anxiety brick 2.0. You're running out of time and you haven't even started. Day 21. The wall is a skyscraper. You can barely see the task anymore. The wall is all you can see. And now it's not just, this will be uncomfortable. Now it's, I am a broken human being who will never accomplish anything, and why am I like this, and everyone else is fine, and I'm the only disaster. The wall isn't growing because the task got harder. The wall is growing because you're adding your feelings about procrastinating to the wall made of procrastinating. It's a wall that builds itself. And here's where it gets truly painful. You start believing the wall is proof of who you are. I'm just a procrastinator. It's my personality now. I'm lazy. I'm broken. Everyone else just does things like it's easy. What's wrong with me? But here's the truth. The wall isn't you. The wall is a response. Your brain is trying to protect you from a feeling it has labeled danger. The problem is your brain has terrible judgment. It thinks I might write a bad essay is the same threat level as there's a bear in my living room. Same alarm, same wall, same runaway response. Except running from the bear saves your life. Running from an essay just makes you clean the grout. Your brain has a very old alarm system, built back when all threats were immediate and physical. Tiger? Alarm. Cliff edge? Alarm. Tribe rejecting you? Alarm. Fast forward to now. Blank document? Alarm. Possible criticism? Alarm. The mere concept of not being good at something? Alarm. If this makes too much sense, subscribe to The Saint Explains. Your brain is doing this in like 47 other areas of your life. And then the deadline arrives. Suddenly, there's a different feeling. Not, this might be uncomfortable, but if I don't do this right now, something bad will actually, tangibly happen. Panic overrides the wall. Not because the wall got smaller, not because you suddenly became disciplined, but because now, not doing the task is more painful than doing it. The wall is still there. You're just more scared of the deadline than the wall. So you run straight through it like it's on fire, which emotionally it kind of is. So you do the work, fueled by panic, caffeine, adrenaline, and the crushing weight of your poor life choices. You do it in a frenzy. You do it while hating yourself. You do it while promising yourself you'll never do this again. You will absolutely do this again. And here's the cruel part. It works. You finish. You submit it. You survive. And your brain takes notes. Interesting. Panic works. The wall doesn't come down until panic arrives. So next time, your brain waits for the panic. Because panic is the only tool that's ever successfully gotten you through the wall. Your brain has learned suffering now equals task complete. Therefore, task equals suffering. Congratulations. You've trained your brain that productivity requires self-destruction. You tell yourself, next time, I'll start earlier. And you mean it. You really, genuinely mean it. But next time comes. The wall appears again. And nothing's changed. Because you haven't learned how to climb the wall. You've only learned how to wait until panic shoves you through it. This is why procrastination feels like a curse. Like a loop you can't escape. Not because you're lazy, but because you're stuck in a cycle where the only tool that works is suffering. And your brain keeps using the tool that works, even if it's killing you. So how do you beat procrastination? Not by climbing the wall, not by running through it in a panic, but by making the wall smaller, one brick at a time. Here's the secret nobody tells you. You don't have to destroy the whole wall. You just have to remove enough bricks that you can step over it. Step 1. Stop trying to just do it. Just do it is advice for people without walls. You have a wall. That's fine. Walls are removable. But first, you have to see which brick is stopping you right now. Fear brick. What if I fail? Remove it by lowering the stakes to something absurd. I'm going to work on this for 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes and I'm free. Your brain goes, 5 minutes? That's not even a threat. Fine. The wall shrinks. Perfectionism brick. It has to be perfect or it's worthless. Remove it by changing the goal to something your perfectionism hates. I'm writing the worst first draft possible. That's the assignment. Bad is the goal. Your brain can't perfectionism a thing that's supposed to be bad. The wall shrinks. Overwhelm brick. There are 47 steps and I can see all of them. Remove it by breaking the task into pieces so small they feel ridiculous. Not write the essay, but open the document. Then write one sentence. Then write one more sentence. Each tiny step removes a brick. And suddenly, the wall is small enough to step over like a sleeping cat. Subscribe to The Saint Explains if you've ever opened a document, written one sentence, and felt like you summit Everest. Procrastination isn't about time management. It's about emotion management. The task gets done either way. The deadline doesn't care which path you took. The question is, do you want to climb a mountain in a panic at 3 a.m., hating yourself the whole time? Or do you want to remove one brick a day until the wall is the size of a speed bump? Both get you there. One destroys you in the process. One doesn't. The task doesn't care. But you should. Procrastination isn't a character flaw. It's a wall made of feelings. And walls can be taken apart, one brick at a time. The saint sees the wall. He's not afraid of it. He doesn't judge you for having it. He just watches you try to run through it over and over and quietly thinks, there's a pickaxe right there. The wall isn't the enemy. The wall is your brain trying to protect you from discomfort. But discomfort isn't danger. And once you know that, the wall loses its power. It's just bricks, and bricks can be moved. The person who waits for panic. The person who suffers through the wall every single time. The person who removes one brick before breakfast. They all finish the task, but only one of them doesn't hate themselves afterward. So the question isn't, why do I procrastinate? The question is, which brick is stopping me right now? Name it. Remove it. Step forward. Pause. But here's what's interesting. Even when you know about the bricks, sometimes you still can't remove them. You know what to do. You try to do it. And nothing. Because there's something deeper than the wall. Something about discipline, willpower, and why they fail exactly when you need them most. We'll talk about that next. Subscribe to The Saint Explains if you want to understand why knowing what to do and actually doing it are two completely different skills. If the wall made sense to you, if you saw yourself frozen at 11 p.m., finally understanding why. If you've ever cleaned grout to avoid a 10-minute task, and now you know what you were actually avoiding, then subscribe, not because the saint needs it, but because the next time you're staring at something you can't start, you'll remember. It's not you. It's not laziness. It's not a character flaw. It's a wall made of bricks. And bricks can be removed. Pause. More explanations are coming. Big human ideas. Simple drawings. The saint will be here, watching the patterns, noticing what nobody mentions, explaining when meaning is ready. See you in the next one.